You ever notice how some women walk into a room and men just gravitate toward them? She's not doing anything obvious. She's not the loudest. She's not throwing herself at anyone. But somehow every man in that space is watching her. And you're sitting there thinking, what is she doing that I'm not? Here's the truth. It's not one thing. It's 10 things, 10 feminine traits that most women either don't know about or don't know how to use correctly. And the women who have these traits don't just attract men. They make men obsessed. I'm Eleanor, and today I'm breaking down the 10 feminine traits men find completely irresistible. Not so you can fake being someone you're not, but so you can understand what's pulling men in and what's pushing them away. Because if you've been wondering why you're not getting the attention you want from the men you want, this is your answer. Let's start with the ability to receive. Most women are terrible at this. A man compliments you. He says you look amazing. And instead of just saying thank you, you immediately tear yourself apart. Oh no, my makeup didn't come out right. My hair is a mess. I look terrible. Or you think you're being humble. But what he hears is, I don't value what you just gave me. And that kills the moment, because when a man compliments you, he's giving you something. He's showing you how he sees you. And when you reject that, you're rejecting him. He's not seeing your pores or your insecurities. He's seeing you. And the worst thing you can do is convince him that what he sees is wrong. So when he compliments you, even if you don't feel it in that moment, just receive it. Say thank you. Smile. Let him feel like his words landed. Because a woman who knows how to receive makes a man want to give more. Next, playfulness. Men are exhausted by women who are serious all the time. The woman who can't take a joke, who needs everything to be mature and proper and structured. That energy drains him. Compare that to the woman who can laugh, tease, go back and forth without making everything heavy. She makes him feel alive. She makes him feel young. And that playfulness is what keeps a relationship interesting years down the line. Because life gets hard, work gets stressful, bills pile up. And if you can't have fun together, if everything is always serious, the relationship becomes another burden instead of a break from the world. So stop thinking that being playful means you're not respecting yourself. Playfulness is what makes being around you enjoyable. And men will choose the woman who makes them feel good over the woman who makes them feel drained every single time. Here's one most women miss. Belief in him. Not blind belief, but the kind of belief that makes him want to step up. Let me give you an example. You're planning a date. He asks where you want to go. Instead of listing your preferences, you say, I trust you to pick. I know you have great taste. Or watch what happens. He's going to sit there stunned because most women never say that. And now he feels pressure, or good pressure, the kind that makes him think, I need to find the best spot because she believes I can. That's the power of belief. When you show a man you think he's capable, he becomes capable. Because men rise or fall based on how the woman in their life sees them. If you treat him like he's incompetent, he'll be incompetent. If you treat him like he's capable, he'll move mountains to prove you right. Now, let's talk about emotional control. And before you say that sounds masculine, let me be clear. Emotional control doesn't mean you don't feel things. It means your emotions don't control you. Here's an example. He's supposed to call you at 9. It's now 10 and you haven't heard from him. Most women spiral. They send 17 texts, 5 voice notes, unfollow him on Instagram. Delete his number. And when he wakes up the next morning after falling asleep, he sees World War III in his notifications. All because he was tired. That's not attractive. That's exhausting. Compare that to the woman who feels disappointed but doesn't let it make her act crazy. She waits. She gets the full story, and then if she needs to address it, she does it calmly. Men are expecting you to lose control. Most women do. So when they meet a woman who doesn't, who can feel upset without letting it run her, they think this is someone I can actually build with. Because emotional control means you can communicate, you can compromise, you can work through problems instead of creating bigger ones. Here's one that might sting. Stop trying to control everything. I know some of you have been burned. I know you've been in situations where if you didn't handle it, nothing got done. But when you bring that energy into a new relationship, when you're micromanaging everything he does, correcting him constantly, taking over every decision, You're not letting him be a man. And he feels it. He feels like the air gets sucked out of the room when you walk in because nothing he does is good enough. You need the temperature lower, the music different, the route changed. Everything has to be your way. And eventually he stops trying because what's the point? You're going to take over anyway. Relationships work when both people play their roles. You can't be feminine and controlling at the same time. Feminine energy is about trusting him to handle things even if he doesn't do it exactly how you would. Because guess what? If it doesn't fall apart, you'll both be fine. And if you let go of control, you'll both be a lot happier. Next, emotional intelligence. And I don't just mean knowing when he's upset. I mean being able to understand your own emotions and communicate them in a way he can actually receive. Here's an example. You're at a party. He's hugging an old friend who's a woman. You're standing there furious thinking, I'm about to lose it. Emotional intelligence is not throwing a drink on him in front of everyone. It's waiting, processing, and then later when you're alone saying, hey, I know she's your friend and I trust you, but seeing you that close to another woman made me uncomfortable. Or can we talk about boundaries? That's the difference. One approach makes him defensive. The other makes him understand. And when you can explain not just what you feel, but why you feel it, when you can connect it to past experiences or insecurities without blaming him, he gets it. And now he knows how to avoid hurting you in the future. Men love women who can communicate clearly because it makes loving you easier. Here's a big one. Graciousness. Let him do things for you. I know you're independent. I know you don't need a man. But when you're on a date and he offers you his jacket and you say, no, I'm fine, you're rejecting more than the jacket. You're rejecting his instinct to take care of you. And that hurts. Because men don't always know how to say, I care about you in words. They show it through actions. Fixing something for you, grabbing something off a high shelf, giving you his coat. Those are his way of saying, I see you and I want to make your life easier. So when you reject those gestures because you don't want to seem like you need anything, you're robbing him of the chance to feel like a man. The women who get what they want from men know how to be gracious. They accept help. They appreciate effort. And sometimes they even play it up a little. Oh, you're so strong. Can you help me with this? It sounds silly, but men eat it up because being your protector makes them feel good. Let them. Now let's talk about style. And I'm not saying you need to dress a certain way to have value, but I am saying that how you present yourself determines who you attract. If you're always in oversized sweaters, no makeup, sneakers, looking like you just rolled out of bed, you're going to attract men who are into that. And if that's not the kind of man you want, you have a mismatch. Masculine men are attracted to feminine presentation. That doesn't mean you have to be in heels and a dress every day, but it does mean that if you want to attract a certain type of man, you need to present yourself in a way that appeals to him. Your style is part of your aura. It's the first thing people see, and it tells them who you are before you even open your mouth. So if you're confused about why you keep attracting the wrong men, look at what you're putting out there, because you're attracting exactly what your presentation is calling in. Here's one people misunderstand. Subtlety. Confidence doesn't mean being the loudest person in the room. It doesn't mean shaking your ass on a table for attention. Real confidence is quiet. It's in the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you handle yourself even when no one is watching. Men can tell the difference between a woman who's genuinely secure and a woman who's overcompensating for insecurity by demanding attention. The woman who's truly confident doesn't need to prove it. She just exists in it, and that quiet confidence is magnetic because it signals that you know your value and you don't need validation from anyone else to feel it. And finally, be self-sufficient, not independent in the I don't need anyone way, but self-sufficient in the I'm fine on my own, but I'm better with you way. Men need to know that if they have to focus on work, handle family stuff, take care of business, you're not going to fall apart without them. They need to know you can hold things down, not because they don't want to be there for you, but because they need to be able to focus when focus is required. And if every time they're gone, you're calling, panicking, falling apart, they can't do what they need to do. Compare that to the woman who misses him but doesn't crumble without him, who has her own life, her own routines, her own ability to function. That's the woman he can build with, because he knows when he comes back, things will be even better. Not worse, because you couldn't survive a day without him. So here's the reality. These 10 traits are not about changing who you are. They're about understanding what makes men want to stay, what makes them obsessed, what separates the women men chase from the women men ignore. You don't have to do all 10 perfectly, but if you're missing most of them, that's why you're not getting the response you want. Start with one. Master it, then move to the next. Because the women who have these traits don't have to beg for attention. They just show up, and men can't help but notice.